Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hey everyone!
Hello.
What's cracking?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
Sure we get hyped about stuff and things.
Hypecast.
I got a little high before this.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I was gonna say something after what's cracking, but then I couldn't come up with it. So
Hypecast.
And then that
Yeah.
train just stopped abruptly.
yeah, it derailed, and there were a lot of losses.
Energy level in this room is substantial.
I'm drinking
Well,
a Red Bull.
For those of
Working
you
on it.
in places with a more reasonable climate, like the Midwest and the American North and Northeast, you don't understand what it's like in the dead of a Los Angeles winter.
I know it's tough.
There was thunder for several minutes this
It
morning.
was very loud.
There was
a
rain
few
for a couple
bits
hours.
of lightning.
We
Yeah.
only got 2 or 3 hours of partial sunlight,
Yeah, it's like 55
direct sunlight.
degrees.
55 degrees. People are wearing light jackets.
Yeah, I brought a sweater.
I know.
So-
we're facing some real hardships.
We're all suffering from the polar vortex.
Yeah.
And
the Perler Vertex.
No need to be selfish about it, Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah,
Losers.
dicks.
Yeah.
I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm David Bell. Who do we got?
Who's our guest?
I hate Chicago too, and my name is Robert Evans.
It's funny when I look at. First of all, welcome. When I look at our SoundCloud stats, we actually have a substantial amount of people in Chicago.
Oh,
listening
good.
to
They're
us.
going to really
So,
appreciate this.
hi, Chicago.
Yeah.
I don't have any issue. I have issues with Philadelphia because the
Yeah.
cheesesteaks aren't that great.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think Chicago pizza lives up to the hype.
Oh, really?
I would
I
say
lived in
so.
Chicago for a year. I hated the pizza. I thought it was garbage.
See, you just keep losing them,
think-
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stop beefing with Chicago.
Okay,
we
fine.
got no beef with Chicago.
I have no beef with Chicago so much that I lived there and ate the terrible pizza for a year.
I do have beef with Philadelphia,
Yeah, that's fine.
but that's what Philadelphia usually
Yeah.
wants.
I think Philadelphia welcomes the beef.
All right, should we get started on trailers?
Yeah, we should.
All right, this first one, this has been sent to me by other people who are just excited about this movie. It's called The Hole in the Ground. It was premiered at Sundance, and people like it.
People are flipping their gibbets over it.
Yeah.
I was super excited in the first 8 seconds of the trailer when you see the hole. And
Yes.
then
When you see the titular hole in the ground.
and then everything else I was just like, oh, they're going in that direction. Okay.
Everybody's praising it. What I'm hoping is that, because it's a whole lot of scary kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a changeling. Like this lady loses
Yeah.
her kid in the woods and he comes back. He's all fucking weird.
Honestly, I do really like it better if it was like it's all about like some weird hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Like it's called The Hole in the Ground, and it starts with "There's a hole in the ground," and I wanted that.
That would be I made in the 3 seconds before the kid showed up and it became clear what was happening. I made the hole in the ground story in my head.
Yeah.
And it was like aliens were strip mining the planet for some resource, and
Right.
and she's got
Some
her
Tommy
kid
Knocker
sees
shit.
it, and she
Oh,
has
yeah.
to he and his mom have to try to tell the world about this alien menace, and it's
Right.
You do so many
Full
fun
on
things.
Tommy knockers.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because it's A24 and they tend to be very good. And it's getting a lot of hype. This in a movie called The Lodge, which I'm not excited for. The Lodge is the directors of Goodnight Mommy. And from what I can tell, it's like pretty much the same theme as Goodnight Mommy, which is like a mother with her kids, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Everybody liked Goodnight Mommy. I didn't care about that movie.
It was upsetting. I mean, it was
Yeah.
very predictable, but the film was upsetting.
Yeah. But yeah, this is people are saying this is the next Hereditary. That's the big
Oh boy.
That's the
Okay.
big boast.
I mean, yeah, I haven't been super wowed with what critically have been considered awesome horror movies the past year.
right.
Yeah. The last really good one I saw was Get Out came after It Follows, right?
Yes.
I like both those a lot. I like
Yeah.
really weird premises and like
Yeah.
Demon Kid. It's basically Demon Kid, even if it's changed and
Yeah, it's the
whatever.
Omen.
Like,
Yeah.
we've seen that. We've
There's-
seen horrible kids before.
There's another movie that we had on this podcast called The Prodigy that's coming out soon, and it's this but even more basic seeming, and it's again Scary Kid.
And they're all trying to live up to Macaulay Culkin and The Good Son.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Nothing ever will.
Definitely.
It's true.
Yeah, but like Hereditary and like the new Halloween and like all these movies
Yeah,
that
the new
people
Halloween
fucking
didn't-
shit their pants over.
I
I'm
enjoyed-
like, these movies are trash.
Right. I enjoyed a lot of Hereditary, but it wasn't the strongest film that I've seen. Like probably the best horror movie I've seen in the last decade, I think might be It Follows, or my favorite at least.
Yeah, it would be that or Get Out or that one chunk of VHS where they're at that fucking cult compound in the
Right.
jungle.
That's in VHS too. That's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
that's the Gareth
Yeah.
Evans one.
I fucking
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
It's
Like
so
those are
good.
the three horror things that have really stuck in my mind
Yeah.
over the last 7 or 8 years.
I really like Get Out, but no, I was going to say I didn't find it. It is scary. It's not scary the same way horror movies usually are scary, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's more, that was more of, that's almost closer to like the Hostel type of scary
Yeah,
in a way. I don't know. That's a really good film
Yeah, it's just
either way. So
I like in horror movies to like see something I've never seen. Like that's why I loved.
Yeah, that's such an
I don't
original
want to,
film.
Yeah, like whatchamacallit, Evil Dead is like one of those things. Like when I saw it, I'd never seen anything like that, and
Yeah.
so like I was just instantly enthralled with like what the fuck is going on in this like maniac
yeah.
world Sam Raimi put together, and I was hoping the whole movie was gonna wow me like that. Like we're gonna see this big ass hole and then some crazy weird plot
crazy
was
shit,
done.
yeah.
It's
Great
yeah.
title, like yeah, but
my optimistic view is that it is something like that, but like the marketing department was like, let's just focus on the kid. People can relate to the kid. I don't know. I haven't heard anything saying either way.
it's possible just for the whole doc today that this is a day of really good movies that all had horrible trailers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's totally do it possible.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the next one is extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
That's the Ted Bundy,
Bundy.
film starring Zac Efron.
You don't give a title like that to a movie about someone whose crimes are actually like that.
Yes.
Like you would do if it was like some con man who had like some lawman coming had like dropped some like he's the worst
Yeah.
dropped some really good description of his crimes or something, but like not when the thing that the title is referring to is like murdering and repeatedly raping the corpses of women.
Right. This
Yeah.
trailer is treating him like he's a lovable scamp.
Yeah, it looks a
It's
little like that.
really weird.
Right, like the title seems like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And it's just like this like Smash Mouth trailer that it's like, look at Ted Bundy, and it even says like Zac Efron is Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
It's like we're supposed to be super excited about that.
It'd be like if they titled Vice Iraq was a real kerfuffle, huh? Like something like that. Like where it's just like, no, dude, this is serious.
Yeah.
Like you can do a movie about Ted Bundy, but like,
Well-
you really got to take the right tone.
Yeah, there's an article in Cosmopolitan that from someone who's seen this movie who claims that the trailer is not doing it justice. Mind you, this is just one person's opinion, so who knows? But this, as soon as the trailer dropped, this article came out of like, okay, everybody, that is not the film I saw. The film I saw was surprisingly respectful of the source material.
well, the
which the
fucking
trailer
studio
is
sure
not.
isn't.
Yeah,
Because I will say, like,
And-
with that in mind, none of the individual scenes of what we saw that are from the film, like,
Right.
were disrespectful. It's the way they're cut together and like the way the music is used and stuff. But,
Right.
like, yeah.
the apparent plot centers around the idea of like, what if your husband was a serial killer?
Great
And
premise.
like how to deal with that. And
Yeah.
so I think the idea is they want him to seem charming because that's part of the deception that is that, Ted Bundy. And so I think the trailer is not that's not coming across in the trailer at all.
So it's going to be more from his girlfriend's point of view?
I think so.
Oh.
I think that's the idea, is like it's from the point of view of the people who are going to be the last people to admit that, you know, like you think
She
about
was actually
that.
one of the first people to.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
think about that with like family and stuff. Like what if a close family member like killed a bunch of people? Like it's
Yeah.
that thing of like coming to grips with the idea of being like, yeah, okay, this person is.
Yeah.
Because
disturbed.
I think it's not that you're going to be the last, but you'll either be the first or the last.
Yeah,
Like you'll either right away be like, "Oh my god, everything makes sense," or you'll deny it till
Right.
almost
You
the
just
very
won't
end.
see it until it's.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
I think the most.
me making a lot of excuses though for this terrible fucking trailer.
This trailer, I can't. The trailer looks like a trailer for like a Guy Ritchie movie. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like not even a Guy Ritchie movie, like that, like a
Like a
90s,
Peter Berg movie.
Yeah,
yeah. Because if this is a respectful trailer would be like setting up how good this guy looks, like Perfect Husband. Like you could have a little montage of that, and then you go to like her opening up the newspaper and seeing a face and recognizing.
right. You
him,
can
and,
make
you
a
know,
scary trailer out of this.
Yeah.
If you're going for it's from her point of view and she's figuring out
Yeah.
that he's probably the guy.
and
But
it's yeah.
this one just went like this trailer felt like the trailer for like The Big Hit, like it had that much respect for
Yeah.
death.
God, I want to watch The Big Hit.
It's like if you'd cut the trailer for Schindler's List to make it look like it was like a comedy, like
Right.
it's like a Big Short presentation of the Holocaust,
Right.
Where like
It's-
all, like
If you
It's
cut
one of those joke trailers people made, like the
Right.
one for The Shining.
right,
Yeah.
it's set to Salisbury Hill.
Yeah,
If you cut the trailer to Schindler's List to that the RZA's song from Kill Bill,
yeah,
that's what this trailer is like.
unbelievably offensive.
Yeah,
like I'm
yes.
not an offended guy, but have you like what the guy did?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that said, they're the most disrespectful part of this trailer. I think we all agree is when we get the shot of Efron taking off his shirt. It's like
Don't make him ripped, guys.
Yeah.
don't give Bundy abs.
Like he was a reasonably good-looking guy, but he wasn't like
He was, like-
incredibly handsome. He
was-
just didn't look creepy.
He was like 60s good looking, right?
70s. Yeah.
70s, 60s, yeah.
He was pretty normal though. Like he
Right.
wasn't
Very-
shredded.
Well, yeah, no,
Right.
yeah, he wasn't like built.
Oh no,
That's
I
a major
I agree.
point
I
of
agree.
the documentary that's out on Netflix
Yeah.
right now that you can watch, which is probably handles this material much better. Is that he lost a ton of weight so that he could escape one of the 2 or 3 times he
Yeah.
escaped to murder
Right.
more people.
yeah,
He really liked murdering.
He couldn't
he
get
was a
enough
big-
of
he was a big
murdering.
fan of murdering.
His
He
passion.
couldn't
Fan of
stop
raping.
murdering.
I talked to one of the last articles I did for Cracked was with a lady who was one of his early victims and survived
remember
and got
that.
away and like
The car, right?
yeah, and
yeah.
she gets harassed online and on any article you find about this lady on Facebook is going to be filled with Ted Bundy fans who are like furious and say that she's lying and stuff, and it's like serial killer fandom I don't get. I acknowledge that
Super
it's
dumb.
real, but
Are
I
they
don't get
are
it.
they saying
Yeah.
that he's innocent? Or are they saying like
I think they're just jealous or something like that. Like it's weird. I haven't read enough of the comments recently enough to like want to say more than that, but that was my like impression of the kind of
Right.
emotional tone of their anger is like you're kind of jealous of this lady.
There was some of that for the Ted Bundy tapes. There was like Twitter stuff going around of people like being like, "Oh man, I'm so thirsty for Ted Bundy and stuff." I remember a post of one woman was just like, "Look, okay, here's a bunch of other good-looking guys from that era."
here's a bunch of good-looking dudes from the 70s who didn't kill anyone?
Yeah.
So fucking weird.
Yeah, it's real strange.
What a weird thing that happens.
A weird
Yeah.
time we live in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this next one, nobody has heard of, and nobody should hear of. This is called Among the Shadows. I
Holy
included
shit.
it because it is a very low-budget werewolf movie with clearly not starring.
No, she's in a
featuring
featured
Lindsay
role.
Lohan.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize her.
Nope.
The only time I recognize her though is when she's trying to abduct a Syrian refugee child.
Yes, that's the only way to recognize her.
I can't believe that wasn't one of the top 20 stories last year.
I forgot about
There was
that.
a lot. Yeah.
That was like 4 months ago, Tom.
That was another one of those stories.
Wasn't long.
That slipped my mind completely.
She tried to abduct a child in Paris.
Yeah. Someone's checking
Oh,
it on her, right?
She what was it like? I mean, it was what was it like? She thought it was homeless or
She
something.
thought that someone was. She thought that the parents of that kids, I think, were human trafficking those kids.
Well, all right.
Because of some weird rumor that spread QAnon style through the internet about Syrian refugees.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would
she's a
argue-
real QAnon head.
Yeah, I would argue she wasn't thinking much because she starts with being
yeah.
like, "Oh, let me take you guys to a hotel." Like she's including the parents
Yeah.
and stuff. Oh no, I think it's at first she's just talking to the kids, and then it becomes clear that she wants to just take the kids
I think
to
she
take care of
starts
them,
trying to
and
talk
the
to
parents are
but
like,
yeah.
"No."
Yeah,
And then she's like accuses them of being human traffickers.
it's
Holy
bizarre,
shit.
and she's clearly wasted.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's
Someone-
on, which is rare for me. But
Someone
like,
really needs to check up on her.
and like no judgment on doing a lot of drugs or whatever, but don't try to abduct
Right.
children.
Generally don't go around collecting children.
Don't get so high you wake up like,
Strangers'
"Oh, where'd
kids."
these kids come from?" All right, I feel like Lindsay Lohan. So yeah, everybody see Among the Shadows, the werewolf movie that looks like it has.
She seems like she can run fast in the film.
Yeah. Absolutely.
fucking abduct a Syrian.
Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh.
all right. This is a good
Gott im
segue to
Himmel.
the Birds of Prey trailer, which is just shots of Margot Robbie.
yeah.
as
And, well, and a few you get a few costume shots
okay.
of their characters. Like you see a
Yeah.
little bit of Huntress and
yeah.
Seems
Sure.
like characters gonna
in
Yep.
a comic book movie.
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
Gonna do it. Gonna do those things.
Gonna do
These
the things.
characters.
I'm sure a blue light will come up from the middle of the ground at some point, shoot
To
towards
threaten
the sky.
all of the humanity,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
something
maybe.
like that.
No, I mean people are excited because it's it's an all woman cast and it's a
Sure.
woman director. So
Sure.
Yeah.
know.
I mean, DC, we'll get to it. It's further down here, but DC's clearly like
imploding.
imploding.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we need to figure this out.
Fuck it.
I don't have any problem with
We
Margot
gotta get
Robbie
some money.
getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
true.
don't know. I don't.
She's
Yeah,
very
I
good.
don't begrudge them anything.
Fine. Okay.
Sweet segue. Ladies who kill.
The ladies
The
who
next one is
moita.
a vigilante.
A
A
this-
vigilante?
A vigilante.
What do you think it was a
Vigilante.
pasta dish?
A vigilante.
vigilante.
Fucking golem?
Oh man, a little
this is
vigilante.
Olivia Wilde
Yeah.
being all badass.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trailer, it does that thing that a lot of trailers are doing now where it's making percussion out of sounds,
Yeah.
out of diegetic sounds, which is neat, but it gets overdone a lot.
Yeah.
But still, I felt like this trailer was effective and tense, and,
Yeah.
and I'll watch it.
I'd say that was good use of it.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
it presents this sort of feeling like a person who is in that mind state is probably very scattered and stuff, and it kind of makes that come across. I
I
like
took
that.
from it like the theme from Jaws. Because it's this
Yeah.
constant, so it gives you this sense of like frenzy.
Yeah, frenzy and
Like
like,
a- like just a
escalations
driving,
that aren't quite
yeah.
intentional and like
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a
Relentlessness.
Yeah.
I have an Olivia Wilde theory that I'm basing on very little. I've been watching a lot of House lately because I need something to go to bed to. That doesn't matter
Oh,
much.
that's a great show.
Sure.
for going
Yeah.
to bed.
And Olivia Wilde, she's kind of funny in it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if she's like a Colin Farrell type where no one's going to let her be funny for a very long time, and then we're going to find out she's
Then
hilarious.
we're gonna find out she's funny. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really yeah.
She wasn't like a comedic role in House either, but she's got potential. I
Character had a really
want
good
to see her.
sense of humor.
Yeah, I want to see her do
Yeah.
more comedy. So she doesn't have much of a film career. I feel like she did the Lazarus
She's got
Project.
a couple, like, what was that? Like
Or-
Drinking Buddies, isn't she in that?
Oh, what's that? Is that a comedy?
I think it's like a comedy drama
Oh,
with I think Jake Johnson is in it
oh.
as well. I
Maybe I'll see.
this
it
is like
to
some
research
secondhand
to research my
information.
theory. Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
guys.
I have heard of none of this. So
Well, okay. We're nailing these segues. So speaking of drinking,
oh, I thought you were gonna say speaking of having
Oh,
not heard of this.
shit!
yeah, we can get to this next trailer.
Now,
My favorite trailer on this
Yeah.
list. It's for drunk parents.
now I want to tell you guys something. I want everybody listening to go watch the trailer for Drunk Parents.
Yes.
Okay, have you watched it? We'll wait.
Wait,
Okay.
I feel bad for making these people do that.
All right,
Yeah.
now come back. Now, Never before has there been in my heart has there been such elation. It's like the Tower of Terror. You get like really high and then you just drop all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
Or like the beginning of like the first drop in a roller coaster, where it's like I'm so excited by the title, Drunk Parents, and all the possibilities.
Yeah.
that
I feel like
could
it's
come
going to be
from
a
it.
bad grandpa situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see the trailer, and it's like a movie from 1997.
They're not drunk.
They're
first of all.
not. There's no drinking at all in this trailer.
See, I had this when I read the article. It was watch the trailer for Drunk Parents starring Alec Baldwin. And I was like, uh-oh. That's too on the nose.
Weird role to cast him in.
Yeah.
It'd be like casting Mel Gibson in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if
It'd
it
be
was
like
both
casting
of them.
Mel Gibson and Anti-Semite the film.
Oh, we got a new buddy comedy on our hands.
Oh God.
This movie, I have what just the trailer's so fucking baffling because it's apparently about a guy who seems well off. They have like a nice house.
Yeah.
And Alec Baldwin and Selma Hayek, and they don't have money somehow.
They send
but
their
they have
daughter to college, and I guess it takes all their. I don't know. This trailer
and
is.
so they decide to
Bill's
rent out their neighbor's
stock market.
house.
This trailer is a puzzle box
Yes, they rent out their neighbor's house.
to sex offending Jim Gaffigan.
Yes. Well, that's all right. The first part is just they rent out the neighbor's house, and I thought like, oh, this is the scheme.
Yeah, this is the
and
plan.
then they're like, but he's a sex offender, and it was like, okay, so is this the movie? And then it just spins wildly out of control.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even look like a fun scheme.
Yeah.
No, like everybody. I want you all to watch this trailer because it's fascinating
Yeah.
that this movie is being made in 2019.
My overwhelming feeling on this was the sort of the opposite of how I felt watching that trailer with Margot Robbie. Where I was like, I'm not going to see this, but I'm okay with Margot Robbie getting more money. I'm not okay with Alec Baldwin getting more money.
He doesn't deserve it.
I'm not going to see this
doesn't need
either,
it.
but I'm also not okay with him having money.
Yeah. My only the only thing because I'm trying to figure out what this movie is. My only guess is maybe this movie is incredibly dark and they don't know how to sell it because it was so disjointed. The trailer.
Yeah,
It is from the writers of Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2.
Yeah. So.
Oh God!
My God.
No,
Okay.
So there's nothing
Never
more
mind.
going on.
Coming from that pedigree.
Because it would be fun if they had just if these moments were literally the only fun ones in the movie, and the rest of it is just they're alcoholics,
Yeah.
and it's a problem, and there's no like jokes.
Just waging drunken destruction
Yeah.
on their lives and the
just-
lives of those around them.
Mostly crying and talking about like their past histories of trauma, like in between dumb, ill thought out schemes that happen like in the brief hungover periods of the movie. They just cut all that out of the trailer.
That'd be amazing.
That would be fun.
But yeah, realizing Grown Ups. Also, the trailer font is. That was a.
It looks like a
instant
90s
red flag.
movie.
It's all white
Yeah.
infinity screen with red block letterings.
Yeah.
Like it's like the Ice Age look.
It reminded me of like the
Or the clumps or something.
like Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yeah. This
Like-
movie,
This looks like a comedy from 20 years ago.
right?
I would be all right with the cast of this being just right into the sun or the
Yeah.
ocean. Both, ideally.
Right. This
Like-
movie,
I want Alec Baldwin to pay for his crimes.
Right.
And this movie is maybe
specifically
the worst.
this movie.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
This might be worse than drunkenly berating his daughter.
It might be. This is whenever a studio makes a movie like this, it's like because studios aren't doing great and they seem to be struggling and not knowing what to do. And this is like seeing a friend who's having really bad money problems and catching them buying like $100 of scratch tickets, where it's like, well, there's your problem,
Dude.
Like that's what this movie is.
This isn't helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of behavior is not doing you any favors.
What are you doing?
Or like, no, that's too sad.
No, say it.
It's like the studio system equivalent of somebody gets hit on the head badly,
Right.
and they're clearly in the process of dying,
Right.
and their brain is just misfiring. The way that someone like that moves what this movie is in terms of an idea, like a studio.
That was a bad
It's
idea.
like it's the misfiring of a dying
The
brain.
dying throes.
Yeah. It's tragic and unsettling and horrible.
Yeah.
It's the brain not accepting its death.
Yeah.
That's this movie.
That's this movie, and that's the careers of everyone involved in it.
I would say except for Selma Hayek, who
That was Selma Hayek?
Selma Hayek's
Oh,
still
no.
got it going on.
Selma.
She's good, but she's in some really bad stuff.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Wild Wild
Yeah.
West, but I mean that was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the only thing.
That movie with Pierce Brosnan.
I feel like is there some Adam Sandler movie they stuck her in?
Probably.
I don't know.
She might have shown up in one.
That's a sad role as Adam Sandler's wife in an Adam Sandler movie.
A lot of people have had to do that.
Like Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes. That was a particularly dark role for Katie.
Wait, what was Katie Holmes?
She was in the movie where Adam Sandler plays himself and his twin sister. What was that?
Jack and Jill.
Yeah, she's
was
his wife.
Katie Holmes and Jack
Yeah,
and Jill?
yeah.
What?
And she has almost no lines. Is
I had
silent.
no
on
idea
scene.
she was in it.
It's amazing. Yeah, she's in that movie, and it is.
Oh no.
It's sad.
I haven't gone anywhere near Jack and Jill. That's
No.
one that
Hell no.
It was deep in the Scientology period, and it's one of those like, oh, Tom Cruise was going to let her be in this movie, but he wouldn't let her do anything. Like that's how it feels, and it's
Jesus.
really unsettling.
Cruise. Every
Dark
time I
stuff.
drive by the Scientology Center, I shake my fist and shout his name.
Yeah, and he's like, "What?" He's in the top floor.
I don't know. I'd rather him get money for a new movie than
Yeah, he knows what to do with that.
Yeah, at
money.
least his movies are fun.
at least he does cool stuff.
Yeah.
Not like drunk parents.
Well, at least he's like, I'm going to almost crash this helicopter.
Yeah.
You guys going to buy a ticket?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna climb up a skyscraper.
I suppose
All
Alec
right,
Baldwin
you
was like, "I'm
maniac."
gonna almost crash this car because I'm
Yeah.
drunk."
I'm drunk. Only if he was
Which is
really
maybe
drunk
a thing.
Yeah.
He did.
and driving
I
a car
assume.
through that cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
Then I'll buy a ticket.
yeah.
Alec Baldwin, you trash.
Yeah, if the movie is just like we kept a camera on Alec Baldwin for 2 weeks while he went out.
If it's just 2 hours of the David Hasselhoff cheeseburger video, like that level,
Just
Oh God,
man,
Okay.
what
It
a
was David
spiral of a
Hasselhoff.
film! Oh yeah, it was.
yeah, it was a fine.
It was,
That a
it was
fine.
his daughter specifically filming him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good for
boy.
her.
Good
yeah,
for her.
yeah, well, yeah.
Oh.
All right, well, let's move into news stories.
Yeah.
The first one is the one people have been talking about. There's going to be a new Batman film directed by Matt Reeves, and it will not star Ben Affleck.
Good.
Yeah.
We've known
Yeah.
it was going to be Matt Reeves for a while.
Oh, okay, yeah. Matt Reeves did the Cloverfield and the Planet of the Apes, which sure...
The original Cloverfield.
Yes, the
Okay,
original
okay.
Cloverfield, and then
All right.
two of the Planet of the Apes, which are good movies. So I
People
don't want to
seem to
give them
like
too
'em.
much crap, but they're also like... Those movies, I recommend them, but they're extremely okay. They're certainly entertaining.
They're competent.
Yeah,
That's all you need with Batman is a competent movie.
I guess.
Like in the position DC's in now, giving us just like this is a Batman movie. It's fine.
Yeah. I think that it
Thumbs
does
up.
make sense because they've had such a long history with very unique directors making Batman that I like that pattern. I like seeing, like, even Zack Snyder was like, well, this is certainly different.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it was different.
Yeah, and that's okay. So Matt Reeves doesn't seem like he has a very unique style.
No, he's very much.
No.
I
And
mean,
so I
his-
think they're playing it real safe.
I haven't
This
seen
next
competent.
one. Yeah.
Right, yeah, he's like your Richard Donner, I guess, but
Yeah.
not like. I don't want to call him Richard Donner.
We need.
Yeah, he's
But
not.
he's just one of those guys that it's just he's competence that you don't really notice.
What I'll say is he's a guy you would bring in if like the number one thing on your mind is we can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Because he's not gonna fuck it up. Like he's not. It's not gonna be a fucking disaster. It's just. It seems like it's probably just gonna be a Batman movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so this pretty much nails it. Kevin, there was an interview with Kevin Smith. He was talking about, I think it was in his podcast, actually. It might not have been an interview. He knew what the Justice League trilogy was going to be, and he was describing what it is. And him talking about that in this news means, yeah, they've pretty much killed that Justice League thing. They really,
Unless they recast him.
yeah, I don't know. It really seems like they're hitting the abort.
Did
button
people
on
like
that.
the Aquamans?
I
Yes.
really liked Aquaman.
People did like the Aquaman.
But
People like the
Aquaman has nothing to do. I think what they're gonna do is I think they realized like the Zack Snyder stuff was not working out for people, and I think they're just gonna like splinter it off, like the Suicide Squad. Now, James Gunn is apparently going to be doing those.
He is, yeah.
Smart move.
And they're going to soft reboot that. So I think they're going to like take what works,
Yeah.
like obviously Wonder Woman as well, and they're going to trash the rest and then just sort of.
They're going to do what Marvel did. They're going to, have them all go out and then, in a couple of years.
Try
have them all
again,
Try
maybe.
again with the Justice League.
But this feels like right now they're sifting through the wreckage to find the things that work, and then they're going to go with that for a little bit.
I mean, to be honest, if you'd asked me, I didn't realize that Gunn had been brought in, but like, if you'd asked me, what's the best way that like DC could right the ship? I'd be like, you just give it to James Gunn.
Yeah,
like
that was
he knows how to set up a series.
That was a pretty good move. When Disney fired him, I think DC like called him the next day.
Oh, thank
Probably
God.
called him that day.
Yeah, they're just like, oh,
Hey,
let's get fucking James Gunn in here.
How would you like enough money to build a house out of it?
Yeah.
How would you like twice that much money? We really need some help.
Yeah.
We've made some bad choices.
On the same subject, it was also announced that Zack Snyder is making a zombie movie
Sure.
called Army of the Dead. Did you see the remake of Dawn of the Dead, Robert?
Why would I watch the remake of Dawn of the Dead when Dawn of the Dead exists?
That's a good point. It actually wasn't that bad. It was one of Zack Snyder's early films.
It's what made his career.
Yeah. It's not amazing in any way, but it has one of the best intros to a zombie movie, I think.
Yeah, I think what happened was, like, I like the Dawn of the Dead remake. I mean, it does not.
I like a
replace
lot
Dawn
of parts
the
of
Dead.
it.
You
but
guys are better, more knowledgeable about those movies than I am.
Sure,
so
I think
I'll
it was
trust you
just-
that it's fine.
Yeah, I think people had such low expectations for it that when they sat down and it's fine, like it's pretty good.
My memory of that was I saw it once. I really liked it. I was working at a Cinemark at the time, and I brought in my very cynical friend who didn't want to see it, and I was just like, just watch the first 10 minutes. And I knew because the first 10 minutes
Are
ends
great, yeah.
with Johnny Cash is when the man comes around to a montage of the slow zombie apocalypse, and it's like a really good sequence. And he was just like, oh, I see what you did. All right, I'll watch the rest of the movie.
It's a good example of all the stuff. It's the best example of all the stuff that Zack Snyder is good at.
Yeah, it's his best movie, I think.
Probably, yeah.
So the fact that he's doing you'd think this would be a sequel because it's called Army of the Dead. I don't think it is. I think it seems like someone wrote it, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
It's weird that it wouldn't be related at all, but
Yeah.
who knows?
I'll watch it.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, why
Well-
not? I mean, I'll watch it like if someone puts it on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like shield my eyes like you're
not
opening
gonna-
the Ark of the Covenant.
But I'm not gonna pay money to watch Zack Snyder do anything anymore.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. He's sort of betrayed a lot of people's trust. I'll see what the trailer has to say. There's a weird pattern now because I think we're gonna get sick of zombie movies again real soon.
Yeah.
Are we not already? Did that stop and
We-
come back
it-
for a
we
while?
did.
That's what I mean. We
Oh,
did.
okay.
Apparently, it
Yeah.
seems to be coming back.
Because they're making a sequel to Zombieland.
Why?
yeah,
I mean,
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was a perfectly enjoyable movie. Had a great time in the theater.
Same cast, so that's something, I guess. Is it
it's
the
not
same
the
director?
worst. I think so.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm sort
None
of.
of this is the worst news.
Yeah, it's not the worst news, but it is sort of like, oh,
Why do that?
why do that?
You know, I'm of two thoughts. I'm of two minds about it because, like, part of me is like, well, there wasn't anything special about the zombie apocalypse in Zombieland. It was just really fun characters, really solid cast that played well together, and that's
Yeah.
why we liked it. And so maybe if you just bring those people back together, it'll be another perfectly enjoyable movie. But also, like, I feel like it's probably a bad idea or a bad sign when I can boil a movie's premise down to the first one, but they're older.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, and that's definitely because they, that Twitter like 10
the
year
10-year
challenge.
thing or
They did that
something.
with the poster where it's just the same poster but they're older,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, like
Yeah.
that was a cute idea. But when their new poster is just it's the exact same poster, but they're older.
If there's some trailer where they've like built a city in the desert with survivors,
They
and it
might
turns
have,
out
we don't
some
know.
really weird, ambitious premise, and
Yeah.
they just use Zombieland to get the money. Okay, that sounds cool. Otherwise,
Maybe they made a fortress out of that amusement park. We don't know.
maybe
we don't
there's
know what's happening.
there's something cool going on there.
All right. But the thing is that there are 3 zombie movie stories, news stories.
Oh, good.
And this
Lord.
third one is the one that I'm just like, oh, fuck the other 2. This is a zombie movie's coming out directed by Jim Jarmusch.
Yep.
Yeah. and featuring Bill Murray. With Bill Murray, Selena Gomez, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, and Steve Buscemi.
I'll watch any movie with that cast. Like that is one of those casts. I'll see it. I don't care what it's about. I'll see anything with that group of people.
Yeah, there's production stills or not
Tilda
stills.
Swinton and Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
There's like paparazzi photos of them shooting at Bill Murray's in a police uniform. So he's apparently a cop.
Adam Driver is, and he has a big machete.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one.
So
He's fine. Yeah, I got no issue with Adam Driver.
I'm saving all my I'll see all three of these, but if I have to choose one,
I'm gonna see that one.
Yeah.
I want to see what the fuck Jim Jarmusch does.
Yeah.
What's
with
this
a zombie movie.
What's this other Bill Murray movies? Broken
Flowers.
He did oh shit, what's the other one? Fuck. There's another one about he's done a few with Bill Murray. And he likes serious Bill Murray a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if it's going to be serious Bill Murray.
Grizzled old cop Bill Murray fighting zombies.
So weird. If it's just a joyless fucking like The Road style apocalypse movie with that
With
cast,
Bill Murray.
it would still be
Steve
amazing.
Buscemi.
And Steve Buscemi could totally. No one could do a haunted human being destroyed by the ending of his world like Steve Buscemi. He doesn't even have to act.
I want Steve Buscemi to just play every zombie in different makeup. So just every time they're just pulling
Very
Buscemi.
very noticeably him.
Just clearly just Steve Buscemi.
They're not even selling it, just like, "Arr,
Did you
arr."
see the deep fake of Steve Buscemi
Yes.
and
Jennifer
Lawrence?
Holy
Haunting.
That's
haunting.
It's simultaneously like a fun thing, but then also it's like, man, 2020 is going to be rough.
This
real
is
problem.
This
Deep
is
fakes
the
are going to
end
be
of
a
the world.
serious problem.
This is a real issue.
Yeah, we've gone too far.
Yeah.
We need to shut it all down.
Yeah.
And that's a delightful thing. And it's like, this is what we need deep fakes for.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be what.
Well, it's a perfect example of like tech culture and startup mentality, where it's like, I made this thing where you can do this. It's like, you could like destroy the world.
You maniac.
It's what Michael Crichton was trying to warn us about, but he just didn't know what the specific technology
he warned
was
us
yet.
about a lot of things.
Yeah.
he was just worried in general.
Yeah. He knew some were
nanobots, the Japanese.
Yeah. I feel like Michael.
Really, a lot of the Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
That is like the overarching villain of his whole canon.
The original draft to Jurassic Park, it was just Japanese people, not dinosaurs.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Dr. Wu for no reason.
And all of the investors that John Hammond actually gets to support him are all Japanese companies.
Yep.
He really believed in that 1980s prediction that the Japanese were going to own like all of the markets.
He gave them dinosaurs.
They love that shit. Back to the Future. Fucking Back to the Future 2.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Back to the Future has this. Well, even they have this thing where like George McFly or Marty McFly's boss is extremely, one would say, racistly Japanese.
Wait, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, it's when he gets fired. When he's teaming up with Flea to like.
And the idea is the Japanese are running everything. At that point.
You mean in the second one? Sorry, I was thinking
in
the
the
parts like young
one.
Marty.
And then in the third one where he's like,
have a job?
Oh no, where he's like, no wonder this didn't work. It was made in Japan.
Yeah.
All the best stuff. Yeah, it was the 1980s thing where it was like Japan is going to run everything, which I'm not against.
Die Hard.
Now
Die
that
Hard.
seems like such an optimistic future.
Yeah, now it's like, please.
We'd have hot coffee vending machines on every goddamn corner.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
The liquor bottles that you buy in the 7-Elevens there have plastic bumpers, that when you're street drinking, you won't break them.
They're in the future.
It's amazing.
For most things, their Supreme Court did just rule that if you want to, as a trans person, have a gender reassignment surgery, you have to get sterilized.
All right, correction. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so visually they're in the future.
Sure.
Other things not so much.
Not so much.
Okay.
I was just going to say they're a culture that appreciates street drinking and nothing,
That's fair.
Not going to go further.
Not going to take that away from them.
But they're of the street drinking peoples of this world.
They're in the future.
They are among the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're on the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
Okay, this next thing, this has been like, I've been hearing about this, but for some reason it just clicked in my head. They're remaking The Witches, which I think we covered.
We might have.
It's coming out October
Roald
2020.
Dahl. Roald Dahl. The
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess they're
cool.
readapting.
Yeah, they're readapting it. That movie fucked me right up.
Yeah,
that did
that
some
movie is-
damage.
Yeah, that did some serious damage.
What
Took a lot out of my soul.
the full picture in my head though is it's being produced by Guillermo del Toro, not directed. It's being directed by Robert Zemeckis. Speaking of
what?
Back to the Future. Yeah.
I'm back on board.
Yeah, and it's starring Anne Hathaway. And it's like, what the fuck? What's going on?
I assume she's the Grand High Witch or
I
whatever.
assume, yeah.
That sounds amazing.
That's pretty dope.
That sounds like a
yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis, which, I mean...
We'll let Welcome to Marwin go.
I was going to say, he hasn't had the best
Track
record right now, but fucking
Maybe-
The Witch is produced... Like, again, why isn't Guillermo in directing it? You'd think he would just direct...
I'm always worried when I see him as producer.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, oh, you just know what his name does to me. You bastards.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool.
He just likes having his fingers in lots of pies.
Yeah.
Spreading his money around.
I just want the full Guillermo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's got something coming up, doesn't he? I feel like he does.
I mean,
I'm
no,
sure
there was a oh yeah, isn't it The Color Out of Space?
No, that's actually that's
Oh.
the Richard Stanley, the guy who was gonna make Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, the fucking lunatic pagan who lived in the jungle smoking weed?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
He's making Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, right, with Nicolas Cage. That's
Gonna be
incredible.
so good.
That's the best news I've heard in a very long time, Tom.
Oh yeah, and
I always-
it's produced by the people who produced Mandy.
It's pretty exciting.
Have you seen Mandy yet?
No, but
Good
Oh,
God, you need
you
to
would
watch
love
Mandy.
I came out of the documentary about the island of Dr. Moreau
Russell.
really liking that director.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just
Great.
being like, he seems like the exact perfect amount of crazy that I would never want to meet, but that I want directing movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just excited to see. That's my favorite short story ever. Like,
Color Out of Space.
yeah,
It's real good.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
incredible. Like, I think it's the best thing Lovecraft ever wrote, in my opinion.
Guillermo del Toro's been trying to adapt at Mountains of Madness forever, which would also be good.
Which would be amazing. But
Yeah.
I can't see anyone putting out that kind of money. Unless this is a big hit, then maybe Guillermo gets the $150 million he needs
He
to make
did
that
just
thing
get
work.
his
Really should.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this shit might be lining up.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Oh,
It's
God.
finally time.
Get them Lovecraft bucks.
Yeah, I would be so happy if that were the next fucking trend, is we just
Just
get
keep
3 or
doing
4
Lovecraft.
really high-budget Lovecraft
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
Do it.
And then they ruin it by remaking Reanimator,
Oh, don't do that.
but with Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah, I'd watch that. He's so dreamy.
Yeah, with his rippling abs.
Yeah.
As he
Get swole ass
gets a
Herbert
shitty
West.
fake puppet cat attack him. Oh, what a great movie!
Reanimator is perfect film.
Oh,
It
you
is
you
perfect.
couldn't do it better.
No, you really
I
couldn't.
really can't.
No.
All right, speaking of Lovecraftian, have you guys seen what Russell Crowe is looking like right now?
Oh dear, no. Oh Lord,
Is he,
no.
is he growing a beard made of
he
tentacles?
is doing the Roger Ailes movie. Or
Oh,
whatever that
no.
is. And
What?
I have a picture here.
Oh, no.
That sounds like
As Roger
that sounds
Ailes.
like a nightmare.
Oh, no.
He's playing Roger Ailes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
why
Everybody,
is that
everybody look
happening?
this up. I'm sorry for a podcast.
I guess
because
because they're both Australian.
Did he just see Vice and say,
yeah,
"I
he's
want to
pulling a
do that"?
Cheney.
He's pulling a Cheney. He was already on his way to a Cheney.
Yeah, Christian Bale has the right personality to be Dick Cheney. Like you get the feeling they're both similar guys in really different businesses.
Yeah.
Because like a guy with Christian Bale's personality and perfection as an actor means he's in some really good movies because he's got that kind of crazy driven thing.
Right.
But in politics, you know, Christian Bale probably would have ordered the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
absolutely if he'd been
Yeah.
20 years older and like in that world. But fucking Russell Brand and Roger Ailes.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Why did I hear Russell Brand?
That would be fucking
That explains some of your. That explains your confusion.
I was like, "What the fuck is that?
What is he
Oh
doing?
hell no! No, that would be fucking wild.
I mean, I would watch the shit out of that.
That would be wild.
Oh,
And, like-
Russell Crowe is right. That makes okay. I'm
That makes
fine
total
with this now. I
sense.
got no
Russell
issue.
Brand, though, I would like if he just didn't act like anything but himself.
Yeah,
too.
if he was just Russell Brand
Yeah.
as Roger Ailes.
I was really
So
trying
good.
to like, what the fuck?
I can't even conceive what that would look like.
No, that's why that picture. I was just okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this all okay. This makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes perfect
Yeah,
sense. I don't
okay.
think we should make that movie right now.
This is a Showtime limited
yeah.
series. I don't think
It's a
I
TV
don't-
series.
This is like a different thing. Is this not the same as the Fox News other thing?
I thought this was the same one.
Maybe it is the same one.
That I have totally different opinions based on whether or not this is a series. Because if this is a series where they dig into how Ailes built his media empire,
Then
like,
it could be good,
I
yeah.
could be like, yeah, that actually could be really important.
That's what I'm thinking. Is if they call him out,
Like, I feel like a movie would be like Sully.
because
where-
Fox
Yeah.
News is one of those things where it's like eventually someone's gonna have to be like, okay, stop it.
The
like
story
there's
needs
gonna
to be told.
someone has to step in at some point and put an end to this, and maybe all the boomers have to die first or something. We're working on it
Yeah.
slowly but surely.
We just the good people at Doritos keep on churning out more incredibly caloric chips. So I feel like
There is such just a tapestry of Dorito flavors that I had no idea
I
existed.
know
Yeah.
they're trying to get rid of the boomers for us.
Good for
Real
them.
cornucopia.
Good on them. But yeah, fucking Russell Crowe. That's it for stories. We can
I was
move
joking.
on.
It's Boston Market that's trying to get rid of the boomers.
Doing a damn fine job, Boston
damn
Market.
fine job.
Damn fine job.
Keep soaking butter into those chickens.
Butter and everything. They just got there every 30 minutes. They have an employee just comes by and mists everything with butter,
Including the people.
including
Yeah.
the people.
It's
Doing
like
God's
it's
work.
in the air. Yeah.
Dave, do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
I have 3 movies that deserve
you
more.
madman.
Oh no.
Because of Sundance. There's a lot of horror movies. This first one is called Wounds. It is a 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
The thing it stars Armie Hammer and Dakota Johnson, which is sure.
Okay.
Okay.
The thing that gets me rock hard is that this is the director of
The thing that swells my dick up.
yeah, is the director of Under the Shadow, which I don't think either of you have seen.
Nope.
It is a horror movie that takes place in Iran in I
that's
think
right.
like the 90s or 80s, and it's a woman and her it's a woman and her son in Iran about to get bombed, and like she needs to get out of there, but there's a what are they called, jinns?
That's the genie, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
I think it's one of those, and it's a really fucking good horror movie. It's one of those that handles, because it's that thing of like all the best horror movies are the ones that like that have like, you know, that are about multiple things. Like the Babadook is about this woman dealing with grief and her kid, and this is sort of that where she's just sort of trapped there like for many different reasons, and there's a lot going on, and it's a really fucking good movie and really weird and very creepy. So this is the follow-up from that director. And this is about a student who's apparently like a bro, like a real drunk bro. He finds a cell phone, and the cell phone has a bunch of like real weird, creepy shit on it. And it's the description, it's very vague, and it's very like, it makes me want to see it. The thing they write is there are flying cockroaches, shapes walking in front of the camera, heads appearing to bubble, a tiny hand crawling out of a skull. Things that sound crazy when Will, that's the character, attempts to describe them to the police, and sound just as mad when one exits the theater trying to explain what one has just seen. So I'm just very I'm waiting for the trailer on this one, but it looks very, very fucking weird and exciting. And everybody should see Under the Shadow as well.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Under the Shadow sounds great.
Yeah, it's very good. And so this is that follow-up from the writer-director, so I have a lot of faith in it.
Okay.
Second one, also Sundance. I think this is the pronunciation. It's Coco Da. The picture I found for it is just a giant cat over a field of 3 people.
Yeah.
This sounds like they're comparing it. They're saying that the directing is like Michel Gondry, Lars von Trier, and David Lynch. Which to me just sounds, it sounds like Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
What? That's like saying something's like ice cream and a hot steak.
Right.
Like, how?
It apparently involves puppets. There's some puppetry in this.
Gotcha.
Okay. I love a good puppet.
The opening
with a
is
bad
apparently the opening is described as a trio of strange figures. One named Mog, a cheery old dandy.
Okay.
Like you see the picture, he looks like John Hammond.
Sweet.
Sampo, a plaid cloth Goliath, and Cherry, an eerie looking woman, plus 2 dogs, one living and falling along, the other dead and in Sambo's arms, make their way through the woods. And it's, from what I can tell, it's about a family going into the woods, and these three characters start tormenting them in this Groundhog Day style where it keeps looping. And like it goes into like an almost Alice in Wonderland like fantasy with puppets.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it sounds fucking crazy.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
you know
see
what
that.
it doesn't sound like is a sequel or a superhero movie, so I'm on board. Yeah,
For sure.
let's make something weird.
Yeah, this sounds really fucking weird. I don't
Yeah.
know when we'll ever see it. It might just suddenly show up on Amazon.
Right. It might be on
streaming.
Amazon like next week.
It sounds like a Terry Gilliam film.
Well, he's still living, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's
Good,
great. He's doing
good.
great.
Good.
And finally, the final movie is called Nightmare Cinema, which I showed you guys the trailer to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an anthology movie.
Yeah.
Yep. 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. The anthology is linked by a spooky theater that shows you your worst fears, run by projectionist Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
Yep. Great choice for a projectionist of a horror theater.
Yeah, to show you your worst fears.
Yeah. Mickey Rourke seems like the guy.
Right. He'd be in all of them.
Yeah.
This is coming out in 2019. It was bought, and it's unfortunately going to go out on the platform Shudder. Which,
What?
Oh.
yeah, but it will have a
subscription.
theatrical release, probably limited.
What is Shudder?
Yeah,
It's a
that's the
subscription
problem.
streaming service just for horror movies and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So I hope people get to see this. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you can buy it as well on the Amazon.
I assume you'd probably be able to.
Yeah. What really pops out at me is the directors, because it's 5 directors.
Oh boy.
It's one of the directors did the Stephen King's The Stand,
Mick
the
Garris.
90s. Yeah. One of them did Juan of the Dead, which I don't know if you guys have seen.
I haven't seen one.
It's a good comedy horror.
It's good?
Yeah, it was one of those that I was like, I don't know about this, and then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is actually really fun.
Because that title sounds like Meet the Spartans level. Like it
Well,
would be
it's-
like
it's,
a really racist.
Well, it's made by a Mexican director, I believe.
Okay, so
Um,
it's
And it takes place. I think it takes place in Mexico. I feel like I'm.
so
I don't know.
it's
I might-
he's just having a little bit of fun with the title. But
Yeah.
it's a real movie as opposed to okay.
Yeah, well, it's a zombie comedy. It's like Shaun of the Dead, basically.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's a real movie.
Um,
That's a film.
It's a
David
motion picture.
Slade, what did he do? It's who the other? I know what the final one is.
It's like the 30 Days a Night director.
The Meat Train. Yeah,
Midnight Meat Train.
Midnight Meat Train director did another, and then
That
30
movie
Days
is
of Night,
Crazy.
who also
Midnight Meat
did.
Train.
Oh yeah,
Never heard of it.
It's
Um,
good. It's got Bradley Cooper and Vinnie Jones.
sure does.
That sounds like the cast that would be in a very different kind of movie called Midnight
The Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah.
What else did 30 Days of Night do?
Don't know.
It's something recent. That's why I'm like.
I didn't like 30 Days a Night, so.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to. Hold on, I'm looking him up for a second. He did Hard Candy.
Oh,
He
cool.
did Bandersnatch, the new Netflix
Aha.
Black Mirror. So that's the other director. Final director is Joe Dante,
Fucking Joe Dante.
who directed what?
Gremlins, The Howling.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Um,
Joe Dante's still around. Huh?
yeah, yeah. He did some newer stuff too.
A little
Inner
film
Space,
called
didn't he do-
Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
That's maybe this makes me too sad.
So yeah, that's the fucking anthology of 5 directors. Some really good ones in there
Yeah.
with Mickey Rourke, and this is the first I'm hearing about this movie, and there's not much around it. So that one's really piquing my interest. There's a trailer, and even the trailer is like hard to find. Like the first version of the trailer I found was like a broken link.
Oh, weird.
And like there was
That's
like
not
an
a great
old
sign.
there's like a teaser, and the teaser doesn't advertise anything about Mickey Rourke, and it's like, well, you gotta fucking tell people Mickey Rourke's in it.
I mean, maybe that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
If it's got Mickey Rourke in it, and they're just like, we got bury
Right.
this.
Well, that's the one scary thing is there's 2 trailers. They look identical except they don't one doesn't advertise Mickey Rourke or the directors, and that version of the
Okay.
trailer is way weaker. So I feel like they did that trailer and they're like, "Wait, what are we doing? Let's get Mickey Rourke in there. Let's say who the directors are." But yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that.
We
one.
will see.
Yeah, everybody tune in to Shudder. Watch some scary Mickey Rourke.
Get some extra money on Shudder.
Shudder. But the biggest one I'm most pumped about Wounds, just because Under the Shadow was a really strong first movie.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch
Yeah,
that.
that premise sounds fucking great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's real good, guys.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, that's all we got.
That's
our
it.
job.
That's a sode, people.
Well,
That's an episode.
A sode. You were
A
right.
sode.
that's how busy we are.
Can't even say the entire word.
No.
We're that
we
busy.
Why would
we
we?
can explain it.
Yeah,
And discuss.
I can circle back around
Discuss how
and
busy
explain
we
what I
are.
meant.
Yeah.
Robert, thanks for coming on the show.
Now I'm thinking about Phil Hartman.
Oh.
I'm sad.
Oh, he was in Small Soldiers?
He
He
sure
was.
was in Small Soldiers.
So was
It
Dick
his-
Miller, who just
his last
died.
movie.
He was also in Gremlins.
All right.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Mr.
He's
Futterman,
the
yeah.
dad in Gremlins.
No, he's the Mr. Futterman in Gremlins.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that had the snowplow.
I don't
And in
remember
Gremlins 2, he
very
throws
well.
the winged gremlin into the...
I listened to
Anyway.
a section of the movie Gremlins recently that talked about how there was a lot of like Asian panic stuff in there, and I was like,
There is.
I just remember it as the Christmas movie where the mom kills the things. With
She
the,
sure does.
She really goes to town
Fucking
on those
smokes
monsters.
those gremlins. Dick Miller's the gun shop owner in The Terminator.
Oh shit!
yeah.
That's a great job.
Yeah. He had a solid career as that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's good as that guy.
He was good at being
he
that
looks
guy.
like he belongs in a
looks like
gun
that
store.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, you want to plug anything? You want to say anything?
Any wild political statements you
yeah.
want to make?
Yeah, the FDA should be repealed, and we don't need their looking at our salad to make sure it doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
Free people know that any salad could be their last.
Fuck
And
the FDA.
That's my statement. No more FDA. Everything else in the government, keep on going.
Yep.
Working fine.
Well, I'm going to plug Behind the Bastards for you because I'm really enjoying that show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you haven't already,
It's a lot of
Do
me yelling about the FDA.
yes.
Ranting.
The bastard spoiler is just the
It's
FDA.
just the FDA.
Just the FDA.
Yeah.
You stretch it out now for
And
like 30 or 40 episodes.
It's about Robert trying to get physically behind people in the FDA.
right.
Yeah.
Move into garroting range.
We have a lot of fun, though. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a great show.
A lot of fun.
On the How Stuff Works network.
Yes, that is the network.
There
that
you
it is.
go.
Do it.
Yeah, and as always, you can check out Dave and I's Patreon at patreon.com/Gamefully Unemployed, where we do a bunch of other podcasts, including some fun exclusives like Fox Mulder is a Maniac.
And Tom and Jeff watch
And
Batman.
Tom and Jeff watch Batman. Yeah, check that
Exciting.
Yeah.
And we got a store. Dave's wearing a Swolefield shirt
From the
designed
store.
by Katie Golden. You can get one of your very own at tpublic.com/stores/Gamefully Unemployed. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
All
Everybody
right.
say
Yeah.
good night.
Good night.
And good luck.
Nice.
All right, thanks for listening. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.